Why are some schools and academies in your city getting 40 plus leads per week and yours is not? Well, it's because of their ad strategy. And in this video, I'm going to break it down for you so you can do the exact same thing for your school or academy. My name is Jennifer Waters, and I'm one of the founders of 7-Figure Dojo. We're a strategic marketing and growth partner for local businesses just like yours. Martial arts, music, dance, tutoring schools, and even private schools. We help them triple their new student enrollments in 90 days. In this video, I'm going to break down for you 5 things that you can do to improve your ads to generate more leads, just like what we're doing for our clients. First of all, we're going to talk about budget. You need to have at least $30 to $50 a day minimum in a local area to really start getting some leads and getting some traction. Now, you can spend much more than this in your area depending upon your population, but $30 to $50 a day is a great place to start. Years ago, people used to spend $10 a day, $15 a day, and be able to generate many different leads. There's been a variety of things that has happened over the last decade that have really caused prices of each lead to go up. One would be inflation. Another would be just the fact that more businesses are also trying to compete for the eyeballs that you are trying to compete for, which is driving up costs. Now, we want to also consider our population as well, because our population is going to dictate just how much our leads are actually going to cost, in addition to those competitors in those areas. So the lead cost can go up and down. That's why we recommend a $30 to $50 a day budget at the time of this recording, because that's what's working right now. So if you can't allocate $30 to $50 a day, I would suggest making sure you're focusing on organic means to generate leads to then fund your marketing budget for the month. So the second thing that you're going to want to look at is your campaign type. So when you're setting up your ads on Facebook or Instagram, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. But in the campaign settings itself, you're going to want to select leads. When you select leads, it's going to allow you to generate leads on the platform. Now you can use high intent leads where you're actually requesting that the person inputs their information instead of it just auto-filling, which is what we would recommend. But you're doing something that is so important, which is collecting the lead on the platform. You're not asking them to go off the platform. You're not asking them to message you. And you're certainly not asking them to go to a website and then figure out what should happen on that website. This is going to generate you those leads and it's going to help fill up your calendar with new booked appointments. Now, the third thing that you want to focus on is you want to focus on the creative and the type of audience that you're actually pushing this creative out to. So when I talk about creative, I mean the photo or the video. As of right now on Facebook and Instagram, those are the only 2 ways that you can select something to show, a photo or a video. Now your photo could be AI generated, it could be a real photo, the video could be AI generated or a real video. Those types of creatives will vary greatly, but the thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we have variations in mind. So maybe you do test an AI image and you test a real image. Maybe you do test an AI video and a real video in order to see which one is actually going to attract the most amount of attention and drive the cost per lead down. The other trick or secret of the trade that we have is that with our clients, we don't just have 1 creative or 2 creatives. We like to use a variety, usually 4 to 6 to start with a budget of $30 to $50 a day. And then every 48 hours, we're checking those ads. We're seeing which ones are working, which ones are not. We're turning off the ones that are low performing, and we're ramping up the ones that are high performing and testing new creatives. The trick here is that you have to be prepared to use multiple creatives. There's not going to be one that's just the winner and is always the winner. Everything is going to vary over time, so you need to be ready to replace that creative right away. Next, we want to have an incredible offer. I like to call it the Godfather offer. And here's why. I want to make sure that when I am presenting an offer out to the public, it's an offer that they can't refuse. That's going to do more work than any of these other things that I've talked about so far. Your offer is going to be able to outperform most everybody else's offer if it's something that they can't refuse. So when it comes to a Godfather offer or creating something that someone can't refuse, you want to stack it with a lot of value. If your value can beat someone else's value, they're going to choose you. If value is equal, then they're going to choose the person they know the best in the community, which ads can also help you become more well-known in the community, because if you're advertising and you're all over Facebook and Instagram, but your competitor is only advertising every now and then, they're going to trust the person who is constantly in front of them. So the offer, again, must be stacked with tons of value, and it must also be something that is really freaking hard to refuse. And finally, the key to actually making these ad campaigns work isn't actually anything to do with the ad. It's something that happens after the lead submits their information. Having a very fast system to reach back out to the lead once they've submitted their information is a key determining factor for most of the schools and academies that work with us. The schools and academies that wait several hours to respond to a lead that has been generated usually don't do as well with the amount of leads that are coming in and the leads that are actually converting into enrolled students. But the schools and academies who leverage either our software, which is an AI-driven software that we can actually follow up on a lead right away with a human-like conversation, or they have a team member who is right there ready to call the lead, ready to text the lead, those schools and academies do really well with Facebook and Instagram ads, because that lead that's coming in, once they put in that information, they're moving on. They're not thinking about it anymore. They're going on with their day. And so they need that instant communication to remind them that, yeah, I need to go ahead and take the next step in the journey, whatever that next step is. Now, if you need help developing this type of ad strategy and ad campaign, and you're like, man, I think I might want to pass this off to somebody else so that I can focus on the things that I'm really great at instead of trying to become a Facebook ads master and wizard, make sure you click the link in the description to schedule a free strategy call with one of my advisors. We'll hop on the call with you and determine what kind of bottlenecks that you have in your business so that we can help solve those. And then if it makes sense, we can talk to you about how we can build you this comprehensive ad campaign strategy completely done for you. Until next time, guys, be awesome. But if you do want to know the exact ad strategy that's getting 50+ leads per week for our clients, make sure you click right here.